I'm never ready to start.
I know, me either.
But then when we start,
it's okay.
It's fine. Because we don't solve problems. We are talking.
Yeah.
Like we're carrying what we usually do for 2-3 hours a day anyway.
Right.
Onto camera.
Just putting it
This
here.
is just decor.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only problem I have with this thing is that I can't pace around.
Right. Well, I'm a little grateful for that because sometimes I swear to God, you make me dizzy.
My mother says the same thing. She's like, "Can you like talk while you're?" And I'm like, "That's not the same energy." Talk.
Hello.
Yeah, cool. All right. I'm paranoid. All right. You know what's crazy? Even just a camera voice and this voice would do, but we're overkilling it. Like this is more of a decor. This is more of a decor than anything. Like, cause we could totally do it with just these. Like, why does it have to be such high quality? But I guess it does for professional.
You know, you gotta have the format.
Yeah, format. These things, like, see that's the thing though. These are just decor. You know why these are just decor? It's because there's other microphones that would have better quality.
Yeah.
Like the condensers, the long ones, the short ones. The short ones if you're close. But we get these because they look more like the podcast microphone.
Right.
There's a singer microphone, like the one with the net, round net. And
and also we have more of a purpose talking into a mic.
Yeah, exactly. Like the job of this microphone is to keep me here.
Yeah.
So that's
keep
what
me from pacing.
Exactly, but that's why it's a prop, you know?
Yeah. It's an expensive prop.
Yeah, no. not that I paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Roommate Roulette. My name is Brooke.
My name is Orhun.
Cool.
Yeah. We've done the professional part, now we can be ourselves.
Now we can move on.
Alright, we still don't have sponsors.
We are looking.
yeah, exactly. I need an assistant already.
I think we did pretty good today.
No, I'm joking. It's just my leg is still hurting.
Yeah.
But it's gone. It's much better now.
Yeah, definitely. You're not limping around too much.
Yeah,
you know, you're walking fairly normal.
Yeah.
As normal as you can.
As normal as I can.
Yeah.
So I was talking to you about how the meritocracy.
Here we go!
Yeah. I was talking to you about how meritocracy in the industry.
Oh shit! I'll go turn that off.
Now this podcast is under my dictatorship. We were talking earlier.
Yeah.
Alright, shut up.
Yeah, we were talking earlier.
We were talking earlier about how about the meritocracy in the, entertainment industry.
Yes, yeah.
And how there's certain people, like, they're businessmen who can memorize lines and look beautiful.
Right.
And they're just, seem to get more followers. And, casting directors these days, it used to be that they would choose almost people who could connect with the audience and was looking for something human. Now they're like, you know what, why do I have to look? Let me look at their social media. Oh, okay, they have 1 million followers that they bought from India with their dad's money. Doesn't matter, it looks like they're engaging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can sell this.
Yeah.
It's all about sales now. It's just what's the hot click button?
But that's the thing, if those people get the opportunities, they become better actors. And because a lot of it is about learning how to communicate. And if they're in the room, so that's what I'm saying. So it's still not but they'll suffer because the quality of the thing will go down. No, it will kind of stay the same. It's sad for some people. I'm doing fine. I'm not feeling sorry for myself, but I know a lot of people who are in their mid-40s, extremely talented. One guy I know, I would call a genius. Mm-hmm. It's he's just working his day job and I mind it more than him though. I mind him doing that. He doesn't care. He's just living his life. But in my mind, I'm like, I wish he had a career, because I wish he was on TV. He's a very unique guy.
But it's is the quality the same?
Is
it the same? Because I don't think so.
Oh, no, it isn't. But I don't know, who knows.
You know, HBO stuff is still great quality, but
that's the
there's
top
a lot,
of the top of the top.
Exactly. You know, and they really care about their image and their reputation. But there's a lot of shows out there where it's just like, my gosh.
See, the problem is also a truth that a lot of actors don't tell themselves is that anybody can act. Really. To be honest.
Yeah.
There's no one who can't act if they really tried and gave 5 to 10 years to it.
Right.
And did the scenes and all that. Okay, yes, there is people who can't act. But like, it is like, you can hire someone, train them, and then like, in theater they can't do it, but in film they can, because just snippets. All the bad takes are gone.
Because you edit everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like...
So what's to say when you have a bad actor or actress in a show and they're not doing that great? Like, you know, that's the best of their best. You know, and I don't understand why directors and producers would want to have people like that in their film, when I would think it's more costly to have to go through content like that in order to put it together in a way that's even, you know, remotely approachable.
Yeah.
It's like, get someone good, then you're going to have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, they're gonna have like... It's just people don't really care about stories that have humans and real feelings anymore. They're like doing a lot of action flicks, and they're doing a lot of stuff where it's just like a poster face. Even the movie's the poster, not just the poster, but like
totally.
The movie's just stand there, do this. Like it's really mechanic.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, all you can do, honestly, like I'm writing and making my own stuff. All I can do is just try to make every project better than the last. If somebody funds it, great. If they don't, like,
well, it's stop. Like that's the business of it. Like the business executives want that. I think the people, viewers, and even the actors and actresses want that human emotion on screen. They want that realism, but we're not getting it.
It's because that's the thing. Like, it's for you to go from a person that says I'm an actor to you being on screen for people to watch you. Yeah. There's so many gatekeepers who don't know anything about acting or writing or anything.
Nor do they care.
Yes, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's watched.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Oh, there's a market. Done. It's all about numbers. That's it. And who creates these numbers, you know?
It's, I don't know, but maybe it's better that way. See, in my country, the movie stars of like, who were born in like the 40s and like late 40s, and they made movies in the 70s and 80s. These comedians, and like they would like, there was no comedies, there was just drama comedy mixes. Like there's just these films of people telling real stories. Some of them were comedies, but these people, even the movie star ones, didn't make that much money. Didn't have millions. They had these bad contracts. And sometimes like the hugest actress in the world had to be like a side role in a film, and like in a way it's unfair because they had such talent, and those movies you can watch them 50 times and you still watch them. Like it's crazy. Like we all talk about it, how that era's movies are like rewatchable like crazy because there's something so genuine, and those people loved each other and had such chemistry, right? But it's like, maybe it's good that those people didn't have that much money, because if they did, maybe they would have done like, I don't want to do the side role.
Right.
You know,
it's possible.
Sometimes maybe it's good to just do work that is meaningful to you.
I think that's incredibly important, because if you don't have meaning and purpose in the work that you do, then you're not going to really show up for it as much as you should.
But it is sad. Like, for example, I made a film recently, which is just a short film, but it's like funny. And people who watch it love it. They send me messages, but it's like I had to like send it to a bunch of people to get some traction. And in like maybe 3 different platforms, maybe like 600 people watched it. Which is, I'm glad. It's just 4 minutes. These days, you can't even ask people to watch more than 2 minutes online, but...
If not 10 seconds.
Yeah, and they loved it, but it's like...
It was a good short film.
Yeah, but I wish I could, you know, get it seen by a lot of people, or like make something like that, but to get there, you have to have such a business mind, which I unfortunately
it's a challenge. It's a challenge to get noticed like that, especially because of all the kind of instant gratification videos. You know, people just want that attention grabber and then they move on. And I myself am guilty of it too. If something doesn't catch my attention or my interest right away, I fucking swipe, you know? I go right past it.
It's because that's what, like, that's what we were told. That's why there shouldn't be something constantly showing you something. You should get out of your house and go to something done by people who really cared about it.
Yeah, there is that human disconnect.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, it's like maybe if you just waited that extra 3 seconds, you would really enjoy what you watch.
Yeah. That's why, like, I went to film school and, like, I studied film. I made, like, a film with cinema cameras, and still there's TVs but getting really cinematic and stuff.
Yeah.
But I worry about the new people studying film because I'm like, the money you're giving this school, you're much better off going out there making videos just because...
I agree.
It's not the same game anymore. Like, I'm
well,
30.
And it's so expensive to make a film now. Like, so many films have to sell like 30, 40 million just to break even.
Yeah, but it used to be... Yeah, that's also bad. But it used to be... There was these mid-budget films for 5, 10 million. Those are gone now.
Right, and what happened to those?
It's either super realistic CGI or like very low budget in a room guy.
Yeah.
Like...
It's weird.
It is, but it'll come back. See, right now TV is peaking. That's always what happens. True. When TV peaks, cinema goes down a little bit. TV is becoming more cinematic. Technically, people are saying, oh, like, people don't have attention span. But look, they're watching these TV shows that are basically 10-hour movies every season.
Because it's quality, and it's interesting, and it's almost like visual books in a way.
And you're already invested in it. You don't need to be invested in a news story. Which, I love news stories. I love movies. I watched Tar with Kate Blanchett.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's very nice. Like, I don't know. I hope there's experiences like that in the future, and I hope I can make a movie of that caliber one day.
Yeah, but also it's like, how many people are going to go to the movie theaters? Like, to go see a movie now is so expensive compared to what it was even when I was in high school. You know, it's like it's an event to have to go to the movies now, you know? And why would you go to the movies if you could instead go to a nice dinner, you know? There's
also, like, if one movie ticket costs more than 1 month of Netflix.
Exactly.
See, what they have to do is they need to get that subscription model and put it into, which they did. That's what they're doing, these movie passes.
Yeah, but who's actually using them?
I want to, because it's gone to a point where literally if you watch 2 movies a month, you make it back. So it's like
$48 a month?
No. It's literally like $25 a month.
Okay.
Or like better. And then you can see unlimited amount of movies.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's like 2 tickets.
I used to work at a movie theater, like this small old town movie theater.
Yeah, what was that like?
It was super cool because they had where I grew up in my hometown, and we had like the old school projectors, like before digital. Yeah. Like, so it was a really interesting experience because there was only 2 theaters. The basement was definitely haunted. You know, I had like 70s carpet everywhere. It was really eclectic, but it was only $6 for children and $8 for adults.
We're the last generation that saw those like mechanic things.
Yeah.
Like, we were the ones where like Game Boy was
where there's actual film.
No, but Game Boy was new to us. Mm-hmm. You know? Like
the first Game Boys, right?
Yeah. I had a big one. All my friends had a color one, but I just inherited my brother's old one. So it was the only one with black and white. And it was like big. And I would feel bad, but like that's the difference between me as a kid and me now. Yeah. Now I would love to have the different one.
I never had one. My brother did though. And I would sometimes play his. I was much more into PlayStation 1. Like the original.
My parents never let me get... Well, my father would probably, but my mother said, computer games will make you dumb. And then she made me read, and like, guess what? Now I don't like video games and I like reading.
I love video games.
But see, that's the thing. That's why I'm not going to make my kids, like, let my kids play if I have them.
But video games nowadays, it's not just like you're playing Pac-Man and doing mindless things. Like a lot of video games, you have to really think about what you're doing and implement strategy. And There's a
I
lot
can't
of...
wait till it's like augmented reality. Then I think I'm gonna start playing.
Yeah.
Because if I can actually,
it's on its way.
Because if I can actually hold a gun and see a life get like taken in front of me, like if I can take a life and it feels real, like because I hate this. But if I could do this,
VR games,
I'm in.
There are VR games now.
Yeah,
you know, it's just coming. They're not as advanced.
But they're coming.
Yeah.
Oh, when there's AI, so they can generate it immediately, high quality.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
I know, we're gonna live in a new world.
Yeah.
But then how do you get that to be accessible to not just the elite, you know, or the wealthy? Because then you'd have a divide in the world. You think it's not going to be mass produced because it's much more. I do think it's going to be mass produced, but even look at the PS5 and how expensive it is. It's like $800 to $1,000.
Oh, let me tell you, it's because I'm from Turkey. Like we're poor, but man, people will sell their blood to go buy the newest thing. Like technology, we're stupid with that. We buy iPhones, we can't even feed them. Like some people.
Yeah, but not everyone can actually sell their blood to go buy that, you know?
Yeah. Still, but it's crazy, like. But
that could be rent for some people.
That's true. But yeah, you're right. There's gonna be a divide, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope there's like a future to filmmaking in some sort of way, so I could. Still, because that's one of the ways, like with comedy and filmmaking, that's how I connect to people.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just hope it's around and stuff.
I do think that as we come out of this year and going through 2023, like from the hump of COVID, we all want to have more connection with each other. So I do see a growth in that regard where we go do more community events, we go to shows and interact with each other again and kind of relearn how to do that. And
yeah, it's definitely like live entertainment has a future, like, you know, it's gonna come back in a different way though. Like they might even make the virtual reality movie theaters where you don't have to go but you're still around
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, but it's like the same with the music industry, you know, it's changed, but some of the old stuff is coming back. They're using some old tunes and
definitely. Success is an interesting topic because I think all of us want to experience success, but isn't it in the chasing of success you lose yourself in the process and you
I don't know.
Go off track?
See, it's so hard to answer that question. Like, I know this guy, I don't want to give names, but I know this guy who does this silly bullshit sexual weird stuff, even like grabs his audience and stuff. That's stuff that if I did, I would like, I got kicked out for saying shit. I got kicked out for saying shit. And this guy like writes stuff like, yeah, like look at my bracelet and like, and he's like, I attract success. I was born to be king. Stuff like that, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm arrogant too. But if I was that arrogant, I would have no friends. But people are just letting him because he has just enough shows and like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I don't envy that guy because like, I don't want to be that much gone.
He must be extremely lonely in his heart.
I think he is, but like he doesn't act that way. He acts like, oh look, I have a posse, I have this, I have that.
Of course not. He's got to put on his show. You know, he's putting on this image to people, so he gets booked because he feels like his only value is through that. You know?
Think so? But he's successful as fuck, and that's the guy who chases success, not himself.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's such a fake success to me, though.
But we talked about
fabricated.
This. But we talked about this before. Like, if you chase success, you won't be successful, right? To do it, you have to keep real to yourself and do what you love and hope people gravitate towards
Follow your instinct.
But then why are some of these people making it who they only care about success? It's like, are we all just selling ourselves? Like, are we all just salesmen?
I think
in 2023?
they're better at manipulating.
Are they? Because they're not manipulating me. Like, I can see through it.
Yeah, but you're not like the general public. You know, like they manipulate themselves into something that, yeah, they think is sellable. You know, they probably talk their way into shows in the beginning and, you know, I guess the vulgarness, like this guy, like touching his audience members, you know, there's a lot of weirdos in this world who might align with it.
Is it fucked up that I sometimes wish one of them just punches him back?
Oh, I would love to see that.
Ugh.
Definitely. I think it's so fucked up to do that. And like, get off the stage. Like, what kind of example are you setting for people? You know?
And like, people are loving it. People are loving it.
It's disgusting.
See, the same lady that...
It's like the fucking Coliseum.
The same lady that got me out of my own show who was talking about how, like, saying lies about how I was like unprofessional and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she said I was late, even though I was there like an hour early. But
you were never late.
Like that's the thing, but like she's doing it because I didn't sell enough tickets, and she just wanted to put a ratchet. But she just didn't like the fact that I'm like very funny and I'm like very like confident.
No, I think she was.
But see, if he came to her place and he sold tickets, she wouldn't care that he's misogynistic as fuck. Because
you think? Because I was gonna say she definitely didn't like some of your jokes. At least when I saw the performance,
but
it was her face.
If it was selling enough tickets, she wouldn't care. That's the thing. These people have no fucking ideology.
Integrity. That is what we're missing. Yeah. We're missing integrity.
It's because integrity doesn't matter. It used to matter because people. So now it's all about internet and what people write, and it's like the dumbest person who doesn't have any friends can write something all of a sudden. Because it's out there, because everybody else shut up, and that person talked. Like, we still haven't adjusted to the internet.
I think, you know, people lack personal awareness, you know, and they lack self-confidence, and they lack understanding of themselves.
I wish I lacked self-awareness sometimes.
Oh, that would be nice.
If I lacked self-awareness, or
let's say
we.
Like, I would love if I was less self-aware sometimes, and I was just a little bit stupid. I feel like life would be a little bit less stressful.
You know that song, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, the poem?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a good poem.
Ignorance is bliss. Yeah. I always was like, you know, how could you, like, have bliss if you're ignorant? You know, wouldn't you want to explore the world and know what exists? Wouldn't that create happiness? And now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, sometimes I wish I could just, like, press the ignorant button for a day and just, like, check out.
When you're a kid or, like, a young man, like, in your teens, and you start realizing that mediocrity is winning. And, like, people who are great, like Tupac dies. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like people who are, you know.
Part of the herd.
Just sell out and make movies and...
I
want to say, first of all, you know what I hate?
What?
I hate people who, they're going to text me a text and they don't send a whole paragraph. They send 8 small ones. Ding, 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 ding.
I totally have done that before.
But I was going to say, like when you're a kid, you realize mediocrity wins and people are really different and talented. Like for example, Tupac, like, dies and, you know.
Yeah.
John Lennon. Like, somehow the world is almost against the people who are real more or stuff, right?
Yeah.
But even, like, let's not even talk about the death of it. I'm saying, like, even the industry, like, the fake ones seem to...
It's because they can be controlled.
Yeah.
That's
maybe.
why. True artists can't be forced into a box.
But isn't it crazy that when you grow up and you see that, you're like, oh, it's not going to be like that with me. I'm going to be real and great, but also going to be mainstream. But then it doesn't happen and you realize, oh, the world never changes.
No. So what happens
it's people. It's not the industry. It's the people.
I strongly believe that the industries are definitely part of the massive problem. You have these guys who are making all the decisions. They're allocating the funds. They're deciding what projects get made. They decide which artists get signed.
They do, but here's the thing. If you figure out a way to show them, hey, what I do makes money, they won't be like, oh, exclude them. No, they'll get behind you too. But not more than the guy who sells the same amount, but it's not real. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them.
But that's not necessarily true, because there have been artists that have spoken out about how they're like true artists who make music. I wish I could remember Halsley. Is that her name? Halsey. You probably wouldn't know her, but she's an example because she's come out saying that she's had these songs to release, but she's not allowed to, and she's not allowed to even put them on social media. And it's just like,
why? Oh, because she has a contract.
Yeah, and like she's a true artist, you know, but these true artists, they get put into the box.
Yeah, Prince, they forced him to change his name.
Yeah. You know, so it's like you can't really get away from it. And then us as consumers, we're only seeing the box point of view instead of getting our true artists.
See, I agree with you emotionally, but there's a part of me that says this. Is it also because people are very artistic and very creative, almost live in their own artistic bubble, and don't make the contract, right? Don't make sure you get the legal guy to do this. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why businessmen win, because they're reading between the lines. Like, you know how like Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld have $1 billion between the two of them, or maybe actually $1 billion each?
Yeah.
Like,
pretty sure Jerry Seinfeld has nearly $1 billion on his own.
But Larry David too, he had 2 shows, and they're half on it.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, like, I don't know that much about Larry David. I've been on set with him, and like I love him, like, and I think I know him just because I'm a comedian, and I think we're similar in some ways. But like, there's a hunch in me that says if Jerry Seinfeld wasn't smart, business-minded person, as well as like, because he's funny, like he's clean funny, but he's funny, like he's objectively one of the best comedians of all time.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't also a businessman, Larry David would maybe have $5 million. Like, because he didn't even want to write some of the seasons. He was like, I'm quitting. And he would come back. And see, so in that way, it's also almost the fate of the artist to be one-sided.
I totally get where you're coming from, but at the same time...
I'm being a devil's advocate. I don't want it to be that way.
When you don't allow a singer to sing their fucking songs, like, what are we doing? Are we really censoring music? You know?
And for what reason?
It's like, why? Why? Like, I get the fact that you need to have a business manager or a manager, but that's why managers exist.
No, but you have to be your own business.
The business part, because artists should focus on the creation, and then it's the job of the industry to sell that. I'm
gonna tell you something. With talent, it's more money, but in our school, film school that I went to, and you went to Chapman with me, of all the people that were very successful right from the go, like in cinematography. Forget about directing and everything. I have examples of that too. But 2 guys that...
I know who you're talking about.
The 2 guys that were getting the most jobs in cinematography and were consistently working.
Yeah.
One of them was a very, like, he was smart. He was doing, like... He wasn't... he was better DP than his classmates, but he wasn't insanely better. But after he got out of college, he became insanely better because he was already doing it professionally. He was already talking to out-of-town directors and DPing for them. He had a business mind. The other one went to an Ivy League school for business. And see, those guys, they're talented, but because they can look at it like that, is why they actually got their talent. Like, I'm 30 years old, and I started understanding how important it is to make connections and do the business side literally a year and a half ago. Right. If I understood that at age 20,
oh gosh,
I'd be touring America right now.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's why I never will, because then you have to catch up to them. It's like...
But also at the same time, relationship building, like, yes, it's a part of business, but it's not a part of this corporate business that we're kind of referencing. You know, like, those guys are so high up with their decisions that it's not really on the same plane.
No, but what I'm saying is there's comedians out there who did the business side early on because they started young and they figured it out, and somebody in the industry showed them. That's why this nepo baby conversation people are having, the nepo baby argument.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just nepotism, it's also those people, like it makes sense that their parents or relatives taught them, hey, this is a business because you see your father like doing it. So it's not like a dream to you. It's not like a dream. Oh, emotion, I want to be an actor. It's not like that to you. It's a business.
It's a job.
And in that way, you get to have more. And because you have to get to have more, you do more.
Yeah. And also the relationships.
Yeah.
Your parents are already well connected in the industry. Like, I've never
But it doesn't matter, because I've met a lot of people who have parents who are like Oscar winners. They become nothing.
But it doesn't matter. Like, if you have the talent as a child and your parents are in the industry, like, fuck yeah, use them. That's a privilege. Like, I've never been upset about, like, someone's daughter making it. Because it's like...
I have been very upset by it, and I viciously hate them. But here's the thing. I also know that's the way of the world, and I accept it.
You can scale it down to, like, the blue-collar scenario as well. Like, if you have someone who owns a mechanic shop, and their son wants to be a mechanic, and they end up taking over the business, that's not frowned upon.
Yeah, but it's not so many millions of dollars in mechanics.
But that's the thing. It's judged just because it's in a different wealth class.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. So that's why I don't judge it. I think it exists everywhere.
It happens in soccer all the time.
Yeah.
But, like, still, like, it's... But even, like, people who have a business mind and start from scratch, like, that's what I'm trying to say. The advantage is not just the parents, I'm saying. The advantage is seeing it as a business early on.
Yeah.
Because people who do that, who parents are not in the industry, but their parents know someone who's in the industry and mentors them, has the same advantage.
Yeah. Maybe this goes back to the failure of schools.
Yeah.
Schools should teach that shit.
Yeah, they like the theater programs, right? In schools and even in colleges. They're teaching you theater. But it's like they don't teach you how to book.
Right.
I took some lessons in LA that taught me how to book.
Yeah.
And I learned most of things there. So it's the simple stuff, because at first, the roles you're going to get booked are not going to be Stanley Kowalski. Like, they're not going to be like amazing plays. They're just going to be little things. And you're going to nail those and like get them so you can nail them. And then you meet people. People hire people they know.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I learned that too late, but I'm 30 and I'm glad I learned it at least. Because you can't not learn it ever.
I agree. Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so what should we call this episode?
Nepotism or not?
Yeah. Nepo.
Depo.
Let's call it showbiz.
Sure.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if somebody told me this. My mind thinks that I thought about it, but somebody might have told me this. It says it's called show business. So show me your business.
I like that.
Yeah. But I don't know if I came out with it. I think I did, but I don't think I did.
Yeah.
It seems like somebody much wiser would say it. But
yes, most likely.
Yeah, so this episode is called Show Business.
Well, thank you so much for watching Roommate Roulette. I am Brooke.
I am Orhun, and you just watched episode 7 called Show Business. Have a nice day or night whenever you're watching it, and have a nice life. Like that?
I like that. Cool. Yeah.
See, isn't it crazy that, like, who was the businessman in this lineup?
Paul.
Yeah. You know, even John Lennon said that if it wasn't for Paul, they would have had half the albums. He would just call them and be like, let's work, let's work, let's work.
Yeah.
But this is the prolific guy. This is the work guy. But he's also as talented almost, like he's very close. And then this is the guy who they say is the most talented one, but had no business. This guy is like didn't even live in this world. George Harrison. And then Ringo, I think, was a guy with the least ego.
Yeah.
Because he, he could just play drums with them. I could never be a Beatle.
I would never want to be. I don't even really listen to them.
Really?
Yeah. I never really liked them.
The reason I could never be a Beatle is because, man, they would be more talented than me, and I think I couldn't handle it. Like, they would boss me around, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, John Lennon," and leave. Like, when I was younger.
Oh my gosh.
When I was actually, you know what? We're gonna talk about this the next episode.
Okay.
I'm saving it for that. We'll start it then. Oh, this is the LA dating episode.
No!
No, it has to be. It's the last one.
Ugh. Can we talk about your dating life?